Alright, so here's part 2 of the CVT transmission R50, R52 teardown. Had a little bit of trouble getting down to the steel drive chain that goes in there, and as you can see, had considerable damage. I went ahead and replaced the clutch packs, but as you can see, all the clutch plates actually looked pretty decent. So I suppose all of the slippage that I was getting was coming from this steel band. The edge on it was considerably worn. Certain parts of it don't look too bad, but anyway, had a little bit of problem getting the main steel drive drum out of there. You can see the new clutch plates in there, but in here, let me show you the back side of this. So if you're tearing one apart, you know, you've got this little piece right here. When you open it up, that is in that position. So before you try to remove that, you need to slide it over to this direction where it sits like that, because there's a pitot tube inside of here, and I'll just reach through. If that pitot is open, then that will be there, and it will end up catching on the back side of this drum, and you'll tear it up. So, man, I looked a lot online, and there's one guy that wants to sell you a video to tell you how to tear these apart, but I didn't want to spend $400 on a video. Anyway, that's another important part. I know on the inside, when we first opened it up, there was a few pitot tubes. There's a guy out there that has a video from a transmission shop that shows you how to take off the first part, disassembly part 1, I believe is what his video is called. And it also had a couple of pitot tubes in it in the first part of the teardown. But other than that, if you've made it this far, that's just something you need to be well aware of. I had to drive out this drum. First thing I did was I put the nut on there and then tapped on it with a dead blow hammer to get it out of there. And then once it got down where the nut wouldn't reach it anymore, I used a 11/16 socket on an extension, stuck it inside. That way you're not messing up your threads. Put it inside that steel drum, and then just tapped it the rest of the way out. Wasn't the easiest thing to get out of there, but it did come out of there. My new drive belt will be in today. We'll get that put in. I've already replaced both sets of clutch packs. Everything else in here looks pretty good. I do need to get it cleaned up a little better before I start reassembly, but overall, not a lot of scuff marks on the inside. So I'm pretty happy about that. I've seen a lot of people that talk about $4,000 or $5,000 to rebuild one of these transmissions, and most transmission shops don't want to mess with them. I kind of understand. There's a lot of work to it. You've got to remove a lot of parts from the front of your Mini Coupe just to get down to the transmission, to get it out of here. As you can see, we have removed, well, pretty much everything out from underneath the front of this thing. Got a pile of parts everywhere. Replaced the new drive shaft, all the bushings on the front end, and I've got it kind of shoved over here in a corner right now, but we checked all the bushings. You want to make sure you do that while you've got it apart. Make sure all your bushings are in good shape, because right now is the time to replace them if you're going to have to do it. You don't want to have to tear all this apart again to do that. Anyway, guys, if you got any questions or comments, if you see something I've missed, feel free to leave a note down below. Otherwise, take care.